other than Mr. Brian Sedgley.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And if you notice that it's unseasonably quiet in the podcast today.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I don't know. It's nice.
It's like there's not this big 6'3" ogre of a person that's just, obnoxiously talking over all of us.
Did he? It's because he retired.
Again.
Oh no, that's not for another year. That was for you,
Jason
Gary.
Again. Jason's not with us. He's in Cape Cod this week doing some stuff for the military. And so it's just going to be me and Sedge today, another intimate episode.
Yes.
With Mr. Sedgley and I. And we're very excited to bring this episode to you. What is this? Episode 40? 41? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 41.
Wow.
Sedge, what you been up to this week, man?
Oh, what is this? Okay, so this is a Thursday night we're recording. I got home yesterday about 5. Been up, actually working the daytime job quite a bit. I was in Chicago on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We had an open house, and I'm going to shout out Jerry from GA Woodshop. Nice to finally meet you in person, Jerry. Had a great conversation. I did a demo day for, it's one of our paint dealers, but they also sell wood tools. The name of the company is called JC Licht. I think they got like 50 stores in Illinois, Wisconsin. I think just delving into Minnesota a little.
Yeah,
I know.
Midwest.
I know this one guy. What's his name? Oh, I have a brain fart right now, but he wanted me to come up, so I went up with our rep Victor and our director in the area, Little C. Shout out to you guys. Had a hell of a week with you, and then we had about 80 people, I think. It was kind of nice. Filtered through a lot of pros, a lot of pro painters, a lot of pro furniture and cabinet makers from colleges all over Chicagoland. That's cool.
So what tools did you demo that were geared towards painters?
Okay, it was cool. They have a really cool training center, and well, it was a conference room, but it's linked. They have a huge building, and it's in their Addison location. And what I demoed in the morning was Planex, all the sanders, and I did a polishing demo on some lacquer. And then in the afternoon, it was Domino, track saws, Capex. It was a blur, man. And it was really cool. I hadn't done it in a while. I was in front of a crowd like that, everybody asking questions. It was awesome, man. I was rusty, but the thing is, it started at 8, and they gave me a break at lunch for about an hour, and I went till 4, and I don't remember any of it. I'm serious, Ben. And oh my God, it was awesome. I got back to the hotel, took a quick shower. We went out to dinner, the 3 of us. I had 2 beers and I almost passed out in my dinner. I was so freaking exhausted. I hadn't done it like that in a long time.
Was your face like falling in your soup? Like,
oh my God. I had these 2. We went to a microbrewery or a brew house that was nearby called More Brewing. Oh my God. They had 2 IPAs that were off the hook. So next morning, woke up and did it all over again. But we trained, I think it was about 30 of their sales managers. And man, I love it when they're engaged in the presentation because they're asking questions. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. That means you're kind of getting their attention, Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. And then the drive home, man. So it's like I walked out the front door about.
Did it take you about 10 hours to get out of Chicago?
Oh my God.
It's terrible, man.
No, the thing that's terrible was the weather. I packed up the car about 1 o'clock. I was on the road. As soon as I got out of that parking lot, it was a deluge. And then when you get on, I think it was 294, then whatever, 80 or 55. It was wall-to-wall trucks, all construction. And we're all going 55 to 70 miles an hour. And guess what happens? Bing! My flat tire light comes out, or low pressure. Man. I white knuckled it for 65 miles until I could pull over. And because I was testing it, it was just like instead of 36 PSI, and the
Oh, it
tires
got
were down to like
a
34.
little
It was
chilly
time
or
to,
something that morning.
yeah, what, and I was just like, come
Yeah.
on. But tell you what, when that went on, I was up against some Jersey walls going like 70, and these trucks are flying by. I was a little scared, but made it. So I
Yeah.
gotta go online and pay tolls now. They
Oh
don't take
God.
money at these toll booths anymore.
I know. I'm waiting for mine to come in from my motorcycle trip. It's like ridiculous. Like I would hit a toll booth, and then literally an eighth of a mile later, I would hit another one.
Yeah.
And it's like, what am I paying a toll for? I haven't even used a road yet. It's ridiculous.
It is.
So hearing you talk about doing the domino demo, I don't know how well you can see this. Those are dominoes or mortises that someone made with the domino. This is
Holy
from
crap.
Frank Fontaine on the Festival Owners Group on Facebook.
Yeah, Frank
He
Fontaine.
said he said 2,820 domino holes in about 12 hours. Can you imagine doing that many dominoes?
What was he building us?
I don't know.
Holy crap. Frank Fontaine.
I mean, it looks like styles for something. And he said it was white oak, the same bit, never changed bits.
That's pretty damn cool.
God, man, that is. Cannot imagine doing that many. It's nuts.
When it comes to the shop, you got the electrician coming in Saturday to rewire 220 for the new bandsaw coming in, I think. And the shed should be delivered next week, so I'm pretty excited to clear out that bay.
Are you getting the which bandsaw are you getting?
The Harvey, the
Okay,
one
yeah, that's what I was
Jason's
about to
got.
ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty stoked about that.
Now, are you gonna pick up dust collection too at some point?
Eventually, I'm just gonna hook up. I have a CT 26 that 22 I can hook up to it
Yeah.
for the time being with a 50mm hose. I'll just
Now,
make it
are you
happen.
gonna be running it for scroll work? Are you gonna be veneering stuff?
Oh
Like, what
no,
are you gonna be running it for?
I'm gonna be resawing stuff all
Yeah.
day long on it. I mean, I got two humongous cedar posts that my buddy left here, and I gotta take those apart for him. He
Mhm.
needs those, and he said he can have one of them, so that'll be cool. I'll build a project with that. But Rick's got some big posts he needs resawing, and then I got all kinds of wood that I've had over the years that I want to start doing some veneer work and resawing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've been missing. And then there's also some curve work I want to do and cut some different legs, possibly do some cabriole legs and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. You know, there's one of the I think one of the reasons, not just because of limited space, but one of the reasons why I'm not trying to get big equipment now is because it's like when you start getting cabinet saws and bigger band saws and all these other things, like you eventually have to get bigger tools to go with it. You eventually have to get a bigger dust collection, and like you're going through it now, you've got to get 220 set in, and
oh yeah.
you know, some people think that all you got to do is get just a table saw. It's like, well, no, you got to get a whole bunch of other stuff to go with it if you want to, you know, have a clean shop and you want to not clog it up with dust and debris and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of try to just stick to mobile stuff is that you know, I have the one CT26. Well, I guess I have the MIDI now too, but all I have are dust extractors. I don't. There's no need for me to like upgrade to anything else. You know.
Yeah, I think the natural progression is the bandsaw and then a dust collector, and because I want to get probably next year the over under machine, but I'm not going to go with the 16. I think it's a 12. 12?
Yeah.
I think I'll go with that.
Yeah. And if you ever need that 16 capacity, you could just go to Jason's.
Absolutely, half hour away, dude.
Which would be a rare occasion on most, you know, that you would need that big of a capacity.
No kidding. You know, but you know what made me think about that was Matty. He said, dude, it's great for cutting boards. And I went, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, dude, 12 inches, that would get through most projects. You know, you're not very typical. You're not getting boards that are wider than 12 inches, you know.
I tell you what, I I have that DeWalt 735, 13-inch.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever maxed the board through there, the 13.
Yeah. I had to lace. I have a God, what's it called? I have a skip plane for it, or I made one, and I had to like put some paste wax on it because it started to get bogged down.
Yep.
But I guess we'll kind of get into that. But no, I mean that sounds good. I know how much you love doing live training events, and
Oh yeah.
I know how much you love interacting with people and just kind of being out and talking to the people that are in the industry and kind of getting their feedback on stuff and then teaching them about tools and stuff like that.
It's that live feedback that I really get jazzed on. But I'll tell you what, I'll say it again. I was wicked rusty. I was like a couple times, but you know what? I haven't done it in a hell of a long time.
What, like talking in front of people?
Yeah, well, well, a trade show's different. Okay, that's completely different. I get feedback, but not a lot of questions, I guess. But doing a more personalized training like that, man, I haven't done one like that since the lockdown. I think it was the beginning of that March was the last one I did. Like I call it not an intimate, but a more
it's a demonstration. What you're doing at trade shows is a demonstration.
Yes.
You're not soliciting that question feedback loop.
Yeah.
Here you're training people, so not only are you giving the information, you're trying to help them kind of get everyone along the same pace, the same rhythm to what you're teaching. So and it is a very different experience.
Definitely, especially when you're training salespeople to look for certain applications when you walk into a shop, what to look for, so you can help them out. You know, not push product toward them, but help them out. And that's a whole different thing. And I really enjoy that because they come up to me a year or two later and go, dude, you were so right. I saw that guy had that in the shop and I suggested a Festool and it helped them out tremendously. It was pretty cool. So it's just stuff like that to kind of train the eye for a salesperson to look for the opportunity to make the sale.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that as well. So I got a question. What have you been up to?
Oh man, let me see. This week. So Monday I kind of started looking at, okay, what's my daily life going to be like now that I'm done with school? And so wrote a couple articles. Not going to publish those yet. On Monday, I'm still editing videos for my trip. I just finished the third video today, and I haven't even looked at footage for the next few days. But I think it'll probably be between 6 to 8 videos that I'll have from that trip, and I'm gonna publish them all at once. I'm not gonna publish them weekly or anything like that. And yesterday, I built a platform base for my bed. So sorry for just the listeners, but my bed's in the frame right now. I have a platform bed or a captain's bed. It's just 4 carcasses rather, with drawers inside of them. It was on the floor. I wanted to elevate it a little bit so that I could have a little bit more storage underneath it because there's a big storage compartment in the middle of it. And so I built a platform for it, raised it off the ground about 130 millimeters. And that took all day. It could have been really quick, but I wanted to kind of get back in the mindset of being in the shop again. And so I wanted to use a bunch of different tools. I wanted to experiment with things that I hadn't really done before. And so I went to Lowe's, bought just some construction pine just because it's cheap and it's going under a bed. Nobody's going to see it, so it doesn't need to be pretty. And so I milled down the lumber down to the dimensions that I wanted. And I knew that I was going to use the domino on some of it, but I was like, you know what? I haven't used the shaper in a while.
Oh, wow.
And I know that with the shaper, it is incredibly easy to do mortise and tenons, especially if you have the workstation. And so I busted out the shaper after I milled all my stock down and started cutting some mortise and tenons on it. I had to watch a couple of videos at first to kind of get the idea for how to do it. But once I was doing it, it was like I was shocked at how well the mortise and tenons fit with each other. Like I mean,
Wow.
it's all mathematics and it's all computer, generated stuff, and it's hard for it to not fit.
Yeah.
But man, it fit together well. Like I cut the mortise because with the shaper, you cut your mortises first. I'm sorry, you cut your tenons first, and then you cut your mortises. That way, you can adjust your mortise based off your tenon when you're cutting it.
And
But
you work off a grid, right?
yeah, I used a grid for the mortises. I'm sorry, for the tenons. I just used two adjacent edges that form a 90 as my point of origin, and then
Yep.
for the mortises, I scribed lines where I wanted the mortises to be or where I wanted them to be centered on the actual board. And then I used, it's a 3-point reference system. So you reference one flat edge, like the bottom of the board, and then you switch out the bit to a pointed bit, like that has a very fine point.
Yep.
And you lower the third point onto your scribe line, and that sets the center mark. And then you just throw the same template that you used to cut the tenon out. You throw that on the board using the grid system, and it routes it out. And it was and when I say it was dead on, I mean it was dead on. Because I milled all my stock to the same dimensions because you're using the actual edge of the material as a reference. It was a flush fit on every single one that I did. It was awesome.
So that's funny because sometimes when I'm using the domino, I just shake my head and I go, daggone, I can't believe how accurate this machine is.
Yeah.
And then the shaper, I just started delving into it and I love it.
I'm telling you,
I'm still wrapping my head around how to set grids, but I just been cutting out templates with it, and it's amazing.
It just made me want to continue to experiment with it, because I after I finished the base of it last night, I started watching some more videos on other joints and stuff that people have made with it, and you can get really creative with it. You think about a half flap or a bridle joint. It doesn't have to be this square boxy joint. You could put a clover leaf as a joint. Just so many cool applications, and that's what I'm really excited about kind of getting into next week is
diving
a little bit more into the shaper.
Do you know what it is with that machine? For me, it's finding the time to delve into it. I got so many other things rocking and rolling right now, but I will tell you, I think at least every 2 weeks, twice a month, somebody says, Sedge, when are you going to do shaper videos? When are you going to do a shaper tutorial video? And I'm just like, man, I got 100 other ones I want to create.
There's a lot of upfront investment. I will say that.
Yeah. Hey, have you researched on the web? There are a lot of, not from Shaper per se, but from people out there. Are there people doing videos on instructions of it? Tutorials.
I wouldn't say no one is putting out more content than Shaper is for tutorials.
Okay.
There are Raymond Valdez has done a couple of videos on the Shaper, but most people, from what I've seen, maybe 2 to 3 videos, if that, on their channels. And again, that's just the channels that I found. But not a ton of people. And it's, I think it's still a small, and I hate to say the word market, but it is. It's still a small market for tutorial videos, because, I don't imagine that many people that have a Shaper Origin. It's a pretty expensive unit. I do think that it would serve as a good addition to a build video. Maybe not making the entire video about using the Shaper. Showing the Shaper as just a part of the process, I think would be a great way to introduce people to it. Because if I just started making videos about Shaper tutorials, or anyone else for that matter, Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a few people that are going to watch it, but no one else has done more content than Shaper on
Yeah.
YouTube. You know, they've got such a great amount of content, and they do lives and stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah. They I talked to Jake here and there on
Hmm.
emails because we got something coming up. I'm gonna do a little, I guess, guest appearance or whatever on Shaper Labs coming up. I don't know exactly when we're gonna be able to announce it, but it's a really cool project. And
Is that for Sedge Tool or for Festool?
no, Festool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Um, it's interesting because they did a really good job with that Shaper Live, Shaper Sessions, it's called, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
Thursday
awesome,
nights at
man.
7.
Yep. Yep. And they yeah, like I said, no one does it better than them, and you know, as they should, you know. Yeah, I mean, they just they have so many awesome projects. Have you been on Shaper Hubs yet?
Oh, yeah, Shaper Labs.
No, Shaper Hub. So Hub
Nope.
is like where you can download project files.
Oh, what?
Yeah, free
Daggone
ones.
it.
Yeah,
See,
there's a lot of if you want access to a lot of cool jigs,
yeah.
go to Shaper Hubs because people that have come up with really cool jigs for different projects. Some are for the Shaper, some are not. Some are
Hmm.
for Festool items. Um,
Oh, okay. I see people knock when I'm in a shop. I'm trying to remember whose shop it was, and I saw they made a Bessie clamp holder, and I said,
hmm
"Where's that from?" And they go, "Oh, Shaper Hub."
Yeah, that's the clamp rack that I have in my shop. I got that
Oh,
off of Shaper Hub.
oh, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So
I
there's a deluge of awesome projects that people have uploaded. Most of them are free, like no one's charging for it.
huh.
And what's even cooler, Sedge, with Shaper Hubs is let's say that you find a project, right?
Yeah.
That you want to do, right? If as long as you're signed into your account on Shaper Hubs, which I think that's the only way that you can access Shaper Hubs is through your account. And when you go to the file
Mm-hmm.
or like the page, the project page, you can click on a button that says sync to my origin and it will send the file to your origin for you.
Get the hell out of here.
As long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, as long as the Shaper
Yeah.
itself has a
Yeah.
Wi-Fi connection, as
Yep.
soon as you turn it on, it syncs itself to your account, and
Yeah.
boom, there's your project right there. You don't have to do, you
Mm.
know, you can download it to your computer, put it on a thumb drive, bring it to the Shaper. You can do it that way if you don't have a Wi-Fi.
Mm.
But that's what I love the most about, well, not the most, but one of the cool things about it is its ability to sync directly to my machine. There's
Yeah.
no there's no
That,
fiddling around with it.
that's how Shaper Lab is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can sit here where I'm right now and design a Sedge Tool logo with an ellipse, a really cool font, and I just hit sync. I walked out to my garage, which is like 10 paces from here. And next thing I know, I just lay down the tape and I'm carving this logo.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
And because I was a little, well, my experience with it was I borrowed one from work, set it up, and I said, okay, no, I'm gonna during Christmas break, I'm gonna take a couple, 2, 3, or 4 days so I can learn how to use this. Because I use the prototypes of it and I've used them when they're at like a Festool Connect. They're all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noah sent me a workstation to putz around with. So I said, I got to use this stuff. But the shaper I had was older. And when I walked out there after I watched 3 videos by my buddy Sam, I know the
Mm-hmm.
guys there,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, okay, is that it? And I know when they're holding your hand during a demo station at a shaper show, in their booth or whatever, uh, it's really easy because they load everything. And my buddy John is the sales manager for the East Coast, John
Mm-hmm.
Armenia, and he loads it up. And he was showing me the grid at Hatfield Tool when I took a break, and I was like, okay, I get that, but he sets everything up, and I hit green and I follow a line. But I
Yeah.
wanted to understand it. So I watched Sam for like 3 or 4 videos. I went out in the shop, and then when I turned on my Origin, as I set up the account, it was an older unit. It went through 3 upgrades of software.
Mm-hmm.
that blew me away. I was like,
Yeah.
what? This is so automatic. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. And then I cut out 3-inch, a 4-inch, and a 6-inch circle
Hmm.
just to mess with it. And I went, this is too easy.
Yeah.
I was blown away. And then I
It's
said,
so
okay,
cool, man.
so that was about 2 hours with watching videos, getting the upgrades and everything. I went, I already know how to use this. Now
Hmm.
I want to design. So I go on Shaper, and there's tutorials about Fusion 360
Hmm.
and something with Adobe.
Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah, Adobe Illustrator. And I went,
Yep.
okay, I think I'm done. But then I had talked to somebody at a show, and I typed in because I had heard him say Shaper Labs,
Yeah.
and I found that. And I went, oh, is this really smart for old guys? It's basically a design program that was so overly simplified, right?
Hmm.
Okay, where you can like bring circles or cut ellipses and make them large and then add fonts. And now what they do is they keep adding
I think.
different
Yeah.
features to it,
And
so
there's a
they don't overwhelm you all at once.
yeah. And there's a search function too, right? So if you wanted to
Yep.
find like a very specific shape or a logo or a,
Yep.
an object,
Yep.
you type it in,
Mhm.
there may already be one there.
So when I was at Workbench Con, I was talking to Shaper Sean,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, and I go, "You guys wheeled me right in on this," and he goes, and we talked for a couple hours on
yeah,
Shaper Labs and my
yeah.
process that I learned how to use Shaper. And he goes, "Said you just hold that thought. I'll reach out to you later this year. We're gonna talk some more on this because I'll tell you what, yeah, just stepping through that program, I wasn't overwhelmed. And
Yeah,
as they add features to it, I'm like, very smart.
yeah.
And I'm thinking,
They're they're removing that high technical ceiling that you have to have for design
yep,
with Shaper Labs. When they first started it out, it was a very rudimentary, very basic web-based program. But yeah, just like you said, they've done a lot of work into it, and it is very intuitive and it's very easy to grasp, and it's very easy for someone that has little to no experience with design software to have something ready to send to the shaper and start cutting.
yeah, huh. I'm interested too because you really piqued my interest on Mortise and Tenon and
Hmm.
working with grid system. I'm gonna
Yeah,
explore that.
I was really nervous about it because again, I was like, man, how am I going to? And this is the beauty of it too. I was like, okay, I because my immediate thought goes to, okay, how can I repeat mortise and tenons on multiple different locations without having to do a lot of setup? And I knew that when I was going to use the shaper yesterday in conjunction with the domino, that obviously the domino is stupid fast
Mm-hmm.
for how quickly you can put stuff
Oh, yeah.
together. Like I knew that. I was like, okay, this is going to be an all day process. Like if I were to have just used the lumber as I got it from Lowe's,
Mm.
rough dimension,
Oh, yeah.
um, and used like some screws, I could have had this thing put together in 20 minutes, if that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, I want to. It's been a minute since I've made anything. I want to go through the proper process. I want to mill things down to proper dimensions. I want to get all the dimensions the same because I knew that if I was going to be using the shaper and the domino, that especially using the reference pins on the domino, I was like, okay, if I'm going to be using references, everything needs to be the exact same. So
Yep.
I milled it all down, got all of my stock to the exact dimensions, and I was like, okay, it's going to take me a long time. One, because I'm learning how to do mortise and tenons. I've never done it before. But I was like, okay, how am I going to put all these in the locations that I want them, but also have them to be exact? And initially I was like, oh, this is going to take forever. I'm going to have to make all these jigs and stuff. And so I got my stock down. This is when I was cutting out the mortises. I took two of the stock pieces I had, laid them down on my MFT, clamped them down so they wouldn't move, put down 3 strips of tape, put the piece that I was going to be working on, put it up against the other pieces that I had there, and I like cut out my first tenon, right? My first mortise, I'm sorry, and I'm like, okay, now how can I just repeat this over and over and over? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, like, do I need to put like a stop block somewhere? And it took me like 3 seconds. I was like, wait, I can just put a small tick mark on my reference material, and then because I already marked out where I wanted my other mortises to go, and then I just slid the board over, lined up the 2 lines, and then I just did the next mortise. Like, it was quick. As soon as I got things set up, it was lightning fast. So like, you could 100% do production work when it comes to a mortise and tenon.
Yeah.
This exact way. And like I said, it was so fast to do it.
You seriously, you got to build a project and show that technique.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, people will freak out on that.
Yeah. The tenons took longer just because of the amount of passes that I had to do. And there's a lot of chip out on it. And so I want to start looking at different bits and go through some of Shaper's older videos and try to see what bits do better at cutting out a better looking tenon.
Gotcha.
Because I know that the larger, I have some larger bits. They were just flute bits. I mean, it's good. It was quicker. It got more material out, but there's a hell of a lot more chip out with it than when I use a smaller bit, smaller upcut spiral bit.
And I think it's not the downside, I don't think, because you can take your time with it, but the tenon is the length of tenon because the shaper takes only 1/4 inch.
No, so it's no. They do up to 8 millimeter bits.
Oh, okay. You have to
buy
right.
the collet. You have to buy the collet for it. No. It doesn't come with it. It comes with a 6 mil collet.
10 collets fit it. Yes. MFK collets fit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found that out because I did put an 8 millimeter bit in mine. You're right. But I wonder who makes that motor for them.
I don't know. And I was also thinking this too.
I do.
Who makes it?
Festool. Yeah.
Wait, what motor is it? Is it the MFK motor?
No, it's a totally different motor for them, but it's I just looked at the collet when I got the shaper and I went, that's way too familiar thread. So I reached over to my 1010 or MFK, they're interchangeable collets, and I threw that on. I went, oh, son of a gun, that's cool.
Well, hell yeah, man. I've got a whole bunch of collets that I can use on it now. But no, it was really cool, and it just got me thinking about how you could turn. Obviously you'd want to use some through tenons to make it more decorative. But I mean, literally any shape that you want, you could make it into a tenon. You could do a triangular shaped tenon. You could do.
Think how cool that is.
You could do a paw print tenon. Like there's just so many cool applications for it.
You could do like a lazy S tenon. That would be really cool.
Like right next to my workstation, my shaper workstation is my laser cutter. So then I was like, okay, how could I incorporate both of those into a design? I don't know, man. It just, when you start to see the capability of it, your brain just starts to kind of rapidly expand on all these other different things you could do with it. And so it gets me really excited to just want to go back down in the shop and want to use it for more projects. And
hey, what can I, not off topic, but I guess kind of on topic because you mentioned it. What brand is your laser engraver?
It's a Glowforge.
That's right, Glowforge. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Somebody reached out to me with a bunch of different laser engravers, wanted to know if I wanted to try one. I don't know about the software on them.
Well, that's what's great about Glowforge is now I don't have much experience with laser cutters, like other laser cutters now. A few years ago, I was in the depths of it with all different kinds of different laser cutters. But as far as I know, and I could be wrong again because I don't keep up much with the industry. But Glowforge, from a software perspective, it's not the most powerful laser. It's not the fastest laser, but it is the easiest thing to use if you have no experience with laser cutters.
Really?
It's web-based software. It's very similar to Shaper Hubs. Actually, when we were at WorkbenchCon, I was talking to Sean about it. So Glowforge, they have, I would say, a more, and Glowforge has been around longer as far as their the labs of it. It's like an up. What am I trying to say? It's like a more experienced version of Shaper Labs, where it's more in depth. They have a massive repository of logos, icons, shapes, letters, fonts that you could use. And again, it's all web based. I can print stuff from, I say print, laser cut or engrave. I can do it from my phone, my laptop, my tablet. I can do it from any device that I have with me as long as it's connected to the internet. But
holy crap, that is cool.
It is super easy to use. Super easy to use.
Expensive?
So, very expensive. Very expensive. You know, like I said, it's not the most powerful. There are bigger lasers out there that cost less, that are more powerful. They have bigger print beds. But you know, I'm not doing production work with a laser cutter. It fits in my garage or my basement. I have an indoor filter for it, so I'm not running ventilation outside. No, it's perfect for me. So,
wow.
And I didn't pay for it full price too. So I bought it incredibly lightly used back in the beginning of the fall. So I got a really good deal on what I have, and that's why I have it.
Where'd you find it?
So I'm pretty sure I got it on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, no kidding.
I bought it from a woman up in Maryland who's also a veteran. And she bought it whenever she was going through chemo. She went into remission, and she never messed with it because the fumes from it made her feel sick. And again, because she was going through chemo. And then she just kind of moved on to other things. And she was like, well, you know, I've used it 2-3 times. And so, yeah, so I bought it for close to half
sweet,
the high cost. So that's why, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I picked it up. I'd been looking at it at other Glowforges, whether buying new or used, for I don't know, 3 or 4 months before I found that. And once I saw that for the price she was asking, I hit it up immediately and picked it up from her. So I can't complain.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
But you know, it kind of got me thinking of doing that project yesterday. Because again, it could have taken me minutes to make this frame and put it up. But I mean, I literally spent probably 11 hours building this yesterday, and that's from going to the store to milling it to cutting it up and all this other stuff. And so, like, before we started recording, you know, I was like, man, I'm tired. I slept until like 9 o'clock today. I was whooped, man. But you know, sometimes I think that because of some of the tools that I have, not that I have to use them, but it's like, well, I have this tool. I have other tools that could probably make this a whole lot quicker. It's like, but I really want to use this, or I really want to use that, you know? So there's like this balancing act of, do I do it fast, you know, and brute, or do I do it like, I don't want to say delicate, but like go way more than what I should do to get this done, you know?
But you're picking up some skills, right?
Yeah.
And you're learning a new technique, and it's that epiphanal moment or that realization. Oh, this is how I can do a mortise and tenon, you know, with a shaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, man. It's same thing with hand tools. I can knock
Yeah.
stuff out quick, but sometimes I want to flatten a board in a
Mm-hmm.
project with a hand plane and scrub plane, hand plane,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's sometimes I'm just, there's a feel to cutting your own dovetails,
Yeah.
and am I efficient? Hell no.
Yeah.
But boy, I just something about cutting them I just love doing. And
Yeah.
I get better every single time I do it. So it's a lot slower, but I know when somebody opens a drawer in the house and they look at it, oh, look, okay, there's a lot of space in those dovetails. But then I know it's all hand cut.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's just a pleasure to do.
Yeah.
There could be a faster way of doing it, but
Yeah.
it's you it's just, how do you say, you enjoying the journey of woodworking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, you got me really intrigued on that mortise and tenon now with that
I'm telling you,
shaper.
man, they have a really quick. I guess you could probably call it like a teaser trailer, but they have a video showing 3 different tenons that you can cut. And in this video, one of them is like, picture 4 dominoes that are aligned as an X.
Oh, okay. I've seen the joint.
That's a cut tenon, and also the mortise. Um, yeah, I mean, like it's almost like my brain just races too quick to like grab a thought of just these different joints or techniques and stuff, and like I just want to get down there. Even right now, I just want to get down there and start messing with it.
It's cool.
But it's really awesome though.
It's good to see you back in the shop, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you had so much going on the last couple of months with school finishing up and
Mm-hmm.
you getting engaged and then
Yeah,
the road trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely needed that trip, man. It definitely kind of reset things for me. Um, kind of going forward, and yeah, it was good. I really
and
enjoyed it.
in that deluge coming home yesterday on just pouring rain, some guy whizzed in front of me on a motorcycle, and I was like, Ben, is that you? Because I know you're poured almost the whole time.
Oh man, that was the video that I just got done editing today. It was when I got to Detroit, and it rained the entire day. It was a miserable day, and that wasn't the first day it rained either. The next week it rained twice, and that's when I got really sick.
I know. I don't know. I just don't see riding a motorcycle in the rain, dude.
It's fine in like short bursts if you're only riding for like an afternoon or something, but when you're doing it all day long, it wears you out.
I
It definitely wears
imagine.
you out.
I
You know,
imagine.
something else that I finally got in a week and a half ago, or no, yeah, it was last week when they got installed. Is my tonal finally came in.
Whoa.
Yeah, I ordered it about 6 or 8 months ago, I think, and it
Jesus.
finally came in. But so I've been working out every day.
Good.
Um, yeah, it's really cool, man. It's the biggest reason why I got it is because of my injuries. I can only lift so much.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can't lift it, but it's advised that I don't lift more than that.
Yeah.
And so with a tonal, it's all resistance based,
Mm-hmm.
and it's super cool, man. It's like what my cousin was asking me, like, why is it so cool? So imagine what really makes, in my opinion, and again, I've only had it for maybe a week, not even a week yet. What makes it really cool is, imagine you're in the gym,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you're doing free weights,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say you're doing some flies or bench press or something. You're laying down, and you're kind of struggling to kind of get the weights up. You get them up above your chest. You do your set.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine when you're done with your set, imagine hitting a button and the weights disappear. That's what it's like with tonal. Is you get your body in position because it's all based on resistance. It's a cable system.
Mm-hmm.
The handles themselves have a Bluetooth button in them. And so when you are ready to start working out, you tap the button and the machine kicks the weight on. Then you do your set. When you're done, you hit the button again, and it releases all the resistance. So you're not having to like crank your back out,
Oh, you
or
could get in position and then
you
load.
can get in position and then you can engage the load.
Gotcha. So you know, oh, okay.
And it's
Can you
cool,
do a
man. Like
variable resistance? Like, can you control the load? Can you
as you're going,
as you're going?
I'm sure you can. I know that there's a they call it free weight mode, where um you can pick your own workouts that you want to do. You can set the weight that you want. Um, so you're asking like, if I start here and as I go up, does it gradually get harder?
Yep.
I'm sure that you can. I would have to look
Yeah, that's why.
into it to
So
see
that's why
if
we
it
put
does. But
resistance bands on our bars. So
hmm
the big, for lack of people don't know what a resistance band is, it's the same thing as chains.
hmm
And it gives you a. I don't know the technology, but or the verbiage for it, but I know when I'm benching with resistance bands, they're big elastic bands.
hmm
Man, as I go like this and I'm stretching, if I have them locked down on the resistance band pins, I'm going like this. Oh my God, at the end
yeah,
of my bench, it's even more. And then I bring it down. And then,
yeah,
oh my God, when you do resistance bands like that, it's amazing.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's been really cool, and there's it'll tell you on the screen if you need to like lower the weight more, or like positionally if you need to like go lower with a rep, or if you need to slow down coming back down, or if you need to like go out on your rep faster or with more force. It tells you all of that on the screen or on your watch.
It talks to you and shit.
It doesn't talk to you, but it displays it on the screen itself. And
Really?
there'll be small audio cues on my Apple Watch. Like let's say I have to do 15 reps in a set. When I hit the 13th rep, my watch will like make a certain sound. And then whenever I'm at the last one, it makes a different sound. So I know that I'm done with the set. I don't have to sit there and worry about counting out reps or anything like that. But and and there's programs inside of it where it's there's someone that's teaching whatever that session is. They're going through the reps with you. It's very similar to Peloton, where someone's doing it there. They're telling you what settings to go to and stuff like that. And so it's keeps me engaged. At least right now, I'm at the very low end of the challenge, just because it's been, I don't know, more than a year since I've worked out. So I'm kind of giving
That's cool.
myself a little bit of gradual progression there. But it's really great. I'm really happy that I
Man.
have it. It's in my basement. I
Hmm.
don't have to worry about going to the gym or anything like that. There's
Yeah, man. That's the best
all
part
different
right there.
all different kinds of workouts that I can do. It came with a bench. I have a bar. I've got handles. I have a rope. It's a lot of fun, man.
When I used to go to a gym, that was an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's an hour out of my time. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
And then then I gotta come home and I gotta
Yeah.
shower. That's more time. Now it's down in the basement and I have 0.0 excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have sometimes a really bad day, I come home and man, I just take it out on that iron. I do
Yeah.
it early in the morning, you know that.
Yeah.
But man,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm just like, you get down. I'm serious. You get down there at the end of the night and you're like, you're ticked off at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Man, your bench, your squats go way up because you're
Yeah.
pissed. But man, when you come out of there, whew, that crap is gone out of your brain.
Yeah.
That's my zen. Oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Marianne knows when I don't work out. She goes,
you
"Did
get
you work
cranky.
out today?" Oh yeah. You didn't work out, did you? No, why?
You seem a
Yeah.
little cranky, Sedge.
God, it's just I couldn't wait to get down there this morning because I try to work out on the road, but it just doesn't work. I bring my
It's not the
resistance
same,
bands and
man.
stretch out.
It's not the
It,
same.
it's not, but man, when I was down there this morning, I was in freaking heaven. I can't wait to get back down there tomorrow. I'm squatting tomorrow. I just love squats.
Yeah. It's comforting to have a routine with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? That just grounds me because God, I get really disorientated when I'm on the road sometimes, especially now because I hadn't been out there. God, was I groggy all this at work this morning? Oh man, getting back into that rhythm. But it's great because I get there and just start shooting the general BS with everybody. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy I hadn't seen in 3 weeks. He was in Canada, and then he was in Cleveland, and then he went down on vacation in Florida, and I just hadn't seen him. He's just he's one of my really good friends, and we just hung out today for about an hour, just shooting the general BS in his office. That was just good. He's one of those guys you're just glad you work with.
You know, it's probably the best benefit of having your own gym in your house
What's that?
is you can do it in your underwear.
Oh, dude, and my slippers. I've been benching and
Yeah.
I've been squatting in my slippers. I wear.
I just imagine these like these little pink bunny slippers.
No, no. Do you know what? Do you know they're mocks? I've worn them my whole life from LL Bean.
Oh,
They're
okay.
the wicked good mocks,
Yeah.
and they're just so damn comfortable and cozy and warm. And I said there was a big thing out not too long ago. You want to get as low as you can to the ground when you deadlift. And somebody saw me in my gym. They'd look at me and go, "Dude, you're a freak." No, but it's true. I squat in mocks, so I'm so damn comfortable on them. I have my niece married this really cool guy up in Wisconsin. That's where they live now, and he has mocks. He wears them all over in the wintertime. We're going grocery shopping when he's down here. He's wearing his mocks. So the other day, Marianne goes, "Where the hell do you think you're going?" I had my shorts on, t-shirt. I went down to Moontown Brewery in my mocks, my slippers.
Did you walk there in your slippers?
Yeah, I went down there in my slippers. Somebody came up to me and said, "Dude, you're cool."
You're at that old man don't give a crap anymore phase.
Oh, dude, the filters. I got to be careful because I work in corporate America, right? But I got to be careful at work about the filter. But man, elsewhere, that filter has pretty much left the building. I was talking to a guy, a really nice guy. First time I met him, his name is Jim Kavanaugh. He's been working for JC Licht for a long time. God, it's like he's like a brother from another mother that I never met. He's so funny. We were talking about how we're getting older and losing filters. Oh my God, he had a couple good stories. I had a couple good stories. I just love people, man. Meeting people is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? But I'll tell you what was funny. And Jerry, I know you're listening to this, and you probably. I was talking to somebody, and all of a sudden Jerry just comes up behind the guy, and I looked at him and went. I stood there for a couple seconds. The only time I know Jerry is from the Zoom calls. I had never met him. And he looked a little bit different, but then all of a sudden I went, "Oh, that's him. Hi, Jerry." Oh my God. What a cool guy.
Where at in Chicago were you? Were you
okay
close to downtown?
No, western suburbs, Addison, Lombard area.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just all sprawl. It all just goes together, but no high rises.
Yeah.
Nice area, really nice area.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude, it took me 2.5 hours to drive 27 miles out of Chicago.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
God, man, and it was like there were no breaks. It was straight up city through suburbia for 2.5 hours. I was like, God, this is going on forever.
I got one for you. Could you live in that? In traffic in a big city like that, in traffic all the time.
With a motorcycle, yes, I would absolutely live.
No, but could you? Would you?
If I could pick the city, if I could live in New York City, like if I didn't have kids or anything, I would absolutely live in the city.
You would.
And there's so much energy there. And this, like when I took a trip to New York City 2 years ago now, close to 2 years ago. It was awesome, man. Now, granted, I've never lived in it, so I'm sure that there are people that live in New York City that like It's like, you freaking crazy, man. But at least right now, I enjoy being in big cities.
Okay, so I got one for you. When you
Mhm.
got home, wasn't it nice?
Oh, absolutely. I,
Yeah.
I would
I
not give up my house now.
no.
I love living here.
Yeah. No, the point I'm trying to get across is I grew up in Maine, and then when I graduated from school, I moved to Fort Lauderdale, and it was heaven on earth. But it got wicked overpopulated. It is wall to
Mm,
wall people down there. Everybody says, "Oh, I can't believe you moved out of there." I go, "Yeah, I can, because you don't live there in that traffic
yeah,
24/7."
yeah.
Right. And man, every time, and here's the beauty of something that I realized getting out to Chicago the last 3 days. Uh, boy, do I love my home. Do I love where I live?
Hmm.
I love most of my neighbors. But I kind of like live out in the country in Indiana, but in
Yeah,
a subdivision. I
yeah,
That wasn't that big when I moved into it.
yeah,
But you know what? It's nice. There's not a
yeah.
lot of
It's very
traffic.
tranquil.
It is. And
Yeah,
I appreciate what I have more when I travel. And man, when I go down to Fort Lauderdale to see the kids, I'm just like, oh, this traffic. It
yeah.
just,
That's true.
and when you go to LA, and I love New
Hmm.
York, dude, great vibe. And all those places I like to visit.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably what it is. But
And
um,
in the last 2 weeks, somebody has asked me, and in fact, somebody asked me up in Chicago, my buddy Little C, he goes, when you retire from Festool, probably 30 years from now, are you gonna are you gonna live in Indiana? And boy, both times that somebody has asked me, I'm just like, I don't know.
yeah.
Uh, I don't want to ever retire, but because I retired 15 years ago.
Hmm.
But I do like Indiana, but there are other places that I like as well that I might want to get into, like maybe a North Carolina area.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know. I know Marianne, most of her family's in Virginia right now, and we love it there, man.
It's. I love living here, man. This is probably the best state.
Yeah. So I don't know. But it was weird that in the last week or two, I got asked that question about retiring. Where would you like? Where are you going to stay in Indiana? And for the answer right now is yeah,
Hmm.
but I'm not retiring for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm having too much damn fun.
You got to pay for all those wingies you keep eating, man.
Man, oh! I had wings twice while I was up there. The 2 nights, I
How
had
many?
some
How
good
many
wingies.
wings? How many wings did you get, Satch?
Okay, so the first night at Moore Brewing, they were Nashville rubbed. Oh my God, were they good? They were
So
huge. I got
a
a
dry rub.
dry rub, but they had a little bit of
Mm.
heat. They called them Nashville hot, and they were like, they did a good job on them. So I said, "How many come in an order?" They go, 6 to 8. I go, and then
That's not bad.
all of a sudden, little C looked at me, and goes, "Get 2 orders." I go, "Okay, I'll take 2. I'll get wingies." And then, man, they were good. And then
So
the second night we went to Yard House, and their traditional wings, you get 12 wings, and they got good buffalo hot sauce. So,
so how do they compare to Ale Emporium?
dude, nothing compares to Ale Emporium. The
Okay,
best
that's what I
wings on the
thought.
planet at one time were Uncle Al's in Fort Lauderdale and Davie, Florida. And everybody listening who knows Florida, there's two great wing houses. There's Uncle Al's and Ricky's, and both of them are fantastic. But Uncle Al's is king. So when we came up here, we couldn't find good wings in Indiana, and we
Yeah.
went to a private party at Ale Emporium, and they served pizza, and the pie's good. But I was like, okay. So Zach, my neighbor, one time said, he goes, "Oh man, we're going to Ale Emporium for wings." I go, "Are they good?" He goes, "They're the best on the planet." I go, "They
Hmm.
serve only pizza." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" So we jumped in his car, went to Ale Emporium, and I've eaten there every weekend since for the last 10 years.
Telling you,
I'm
man.
just kidding. Just kidding. We don't go to Ale Emporium much anymore. But I'll tell you what, there's just sometimes my mouth starts watering, and I gotta go.
Telling you,
Man.
I had them. I think I've had them twice already. But I remember the first time I had them, I was blown away. Legitimately
Yeah,
the best
man.
wings I've ever had.
Oh, that
Just
Herman style or
oh yeah,
Hermanaki.
yeah. Yep.
Ooh, doggy, are they good?
It's good.
And then about 4 times ago, I'm with Jason, Nicole, and Leo, Marianne, and we're down in Greenwood, and he goes, get double grilled. Double, what the hell are you talking about? I never had that. He goes, get double grilled. Holy crap, that's all I get now with a side of
What's
garlic.
double grilled?
They leave them on the grill, because what they do is they fry them and then grill them. I don't know their process, but whatever that is, it's perfect. And then they get that they don't say it's a rub, but it is a rub, the Herman or Hermanaki. And then I get the dipping sauce, which is a 3 Mile Island, which is wicked. Yeah. And then they get a little bit hotter sauce, but I stay with the 3 Mile Island. Just okay. Oh my God, what time are they open till? My mouth's freaking watering.
Well, that's a good segue. I think we're good for this episode.
Okay. Holy moly. Hey, are we done with the giveaway?
No, no, we still got time. This is for the Festival Party Pack from US Tool and Fastener, and the Sidekick from Leather by Dragonfly. And this is like, I think when I checked it like June 3rd. Okay. And we were already at past half of how many people had signed up for the previous one. Holy moly. This is gonna be the fight to the death. I guarantee that. Well, there's gonna be a lot of people that are entering in this.
Somebody at work mentioned that his friend signed up to it for it too. I was like,
I wouldn't doubt it, man. I mean, you're getting Festool Cooltainer, Festool Top Rock, some koozies, all from US Tool and Fastener. Like, I want to be in the giveaway.
I know. God. I know. It's like, holy moly. He goes, if I didn't have a Top Rock, I would have entered too.
Yeah. But yeah. That $100 gift card to US Tool and Fastener, and again, the Sidekick from Leather by Dragonfly. So if you want to have a chance to win either of those, again, we're doing 3 giveaways, 3 winners for the month of June. You go to www.greensearspodcast.com, and the giveaway tab is the landing page. Is the first thing you see whenever you go to the website. But that's going to do it for us here at the Green Sears Podcast. Sedge, it was good seeing you this week. Good talking to you.
Yeah, brother. Same, man. I'm glad we got together to do this.
I'm really glad that Jason's not here to talk about dumb stuff. I'm retiring.
I just hung some drywall.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.